sights you see. Give a warm welcome to the stage as we bring on Peter Lynch.
Stay standing with me and join me. Hold that energy in your hand and bring it into your heart, because that is yours. That is yours. That is power. And how does it feel? Exhilarating. You can sit down at any point. Exhilarating, right? That's yours. But how would it feel if somebody comes and you have that energy, that passion, and somebody comes along and throws a wet blanket on top of you? And how many times have you had an experience like that? Or, how many times have you been in a situation where you're so amped up, you're so lit up about how you can serve others, and you can make a positive impact? And you see somebody, you know you can help them, but when you go to speak and go to that place where you're trying to convey that, and all of a sudden this awkwardness comes in, and your fire gets extinguished again, right? Because the conversation doesn't go the way you wanted it to, and the value that you know that you held within you, that passion, doesn't convey because something comes in and it steals that from you. It feels like that. You have a gift to share. It's a transaction. It's a sale. But sales is power, and power can be abused. Sales, for some of us, like myself, is a dirty word. But maybe you have that same experience. Because maybe you've had that time where you feel like somebody else squelched your passion, squelched your fire, and it was because somebody was trying to push you into something, trying to shove you into a box where you don't belong, trying to get you to serve what's their best interest, not your own. That's to suppress you. That's not uplifting. That robs you of your power, if you allow, which is hard not to if you're dealing with somebody who's sociopathic, manipulative, narcissistic, etc., which is a long story of my experience and my history and my background of being abused by such people who are only interested.
Only interested. Whoa, that's better. Only interested in their own gain. What can they get out of you? How can they leech that power, that energy, that passion out of you? Which ultimately usually comes down to the form of money, but if you have been involved with a cult like I left 7 years ago, then there's other things involved as well. And so that brought me on this journey where of all the things then to step into sales was one of the most terrifying things for me, because sales, again, is power. Sales is influence. Sales is leadership. And I want to talk to you today about some of the pieces you can implement in your sales process so that you can convey that passion, convey that benefit to others in a powerful way, and really, and in the same way, overcome your own obstacles and hold your own passion, hold your own power in a more powerful way. And the number one thing is sales are lost before they begin. We're going to talk about three things. Number one is position. And I don't know, I'm going to focus on that one right now. But to be able to position yourself in the marketplace. Secondly is your ability to have a process, a system in place that supports you. And thirdly is to be able to have a system of closing the deal that's no longer closing. It's opening a relationship. It's transformational. So it goes from trying to force somebody into your process, but to be able to bring them clarity to the degree that they're willing to ask you for the sale. So if you had a system like that, what would that change for you? If your prospects were actually leaning in and asking you, right? That's the transformation that we're talking about. So to start with position, because it's one of the most powerful pieces, because if you're not capable of positioning yourself powerfully in the marketplace from the beginning, people aren't going to engage with you the same way. And positioning really comes down to what is a transformation that you provide. So transformational sales is all about what is the transformation. Everybody's out there looking for a new identity, ultimately. So sales goes far beyond whatever the transaction is. The transaction becomes secondary. If you make, the greatest mistake is to make transaction the pinnacle of what the sale process is about, and it's not. The sale is about a facilitation of a new decision, empowering somebody to step into a more powerful version of themselves. The greatest sale that can be made is on someone else's greater potential, and to be able to step into that and to bring them the clarity so that they feel empowered to make that decision, right? So as positioning, then it's about what promise of transformation do you provide, and who do you provide that to? And the who part is important because you have to understand what is the negative place that they're in. What is the pain that they want to avoid or escape, and empathize with that, but show them the path out of it. Coaching and sales become the same thing at this point. So for me, operating for a few years as a mindset coach, this is where it clicked in for me, was sales and coaching are the same. Because when somebody buys your program as a coach, it's all like, you gotta make the sale, right? Oh no. And then, okay, it's done. Well, now what? Now they're trying to make a new decision. You gotta sell them again. So, and it all comes back down to positioning over and over and over, which is being able to send out a signal that people can respond to because they're saying, yes, that's what I want. And if they're leaning into you from the beginning, the rest of the process will be beautiful. So transformation happens when somebody buys in for themselves, when they don't feel pushed, when they feel drawn in, when they feel led in. And so we all have that potential for transformation to hold that power and to share it with others. And that's what I invite all of us to do. Thank you.